welcome to a slightly sick modelling misadventures. So apologies for the voice. But in this video I'm going to be carrying on with the Caribbean Coaster, and last time got the basic construction completely finished, and that's looking fairly nice. But what I wanted to do is to try and make this look a little bit more realistic, and there's a couple of things that I'm going to do with this just to finish it off. One is I'm going to do some weathering, and secondly I'm going to add some additional details onto the boat, like some fittings and figures, and just to make it all look a little bit more authentic. Now, there's always some different opinions about weathering, because you can take a nice looking boat like this and actually ruin it if you get it all wrong. But on the whole, I do think that weathering makes these boats look more realistic. Now, there's one word to describe my approach to weathering, and that's crude. I've seen lots of YouTube videos, and there are some really expert weatherers out there for plastic kit models. I am nowhere near at that level. Mine is extremely basic and rough and ready. Now, I'm going to use my go-to technique for weathering this boat, and that is oil paints in the Zippo lighter fluid. So I've just squirted a few colours out onto this kitchen towel, and I'm going to use mixtures of these just to get the different effects. And I'm going to start just by making up a dark, grimy wash to put over the whole boat. Well, that's the first coat of the wash, and it's looking pretty grimy. You might like it, you might not. I've just put a bit on those hatch covers, looking a bit grubby now. And next I'm going to try and go for a bit of rust. Well, there's my basic weathering done. Like I said, it's fairly simple and fairly crude, but I quite like the look of it. It does make the boat look a bit like an old wreck, and it'll probably look very nice on the water. Not sure it stands a really close scrutiny, but that's good enough for me. So now I'm going to get on with some more deck details. So I've been scouring model shops and online and 3D printing sites. So I bought this set of HO model railway figures. They're about the right size. I've tried them out on the bridge and they look absolutely fine. So they're going to need painting. That'll be fun. And then I've 3D printed a whole load of little things that can go on the deck. Crates. I found this coal, so I'm going to put that in there and put those on the deck. I've printed off a load of oil drums, get them painted. This was quite nice. I found this on Cults. It's a little pallet forklift. And got these off Thingiverse, 3D printed them. Pallets. These are cotton bales. They should look all right on board. Printed some empty crates. I'm going to fill those up. I filled that one with silica drying sachet stuff. These are some gas cylinders. They look all right. Got plenty of barrels. Load of barrels. Stick them on the deck. What else have we got? I came across this. This is from Model Railways, but it's a weighing scale. I think I'll put that on. This is just a little wooden cable reel. That's actually for model trains. I'm going to put that on. What have we got here? Fire extinguisher. Put a few of them on. Here's a life buoy. All very small, this stuff. I designed and printed this thing. I'm going to try and put some sort of fake logs on that. And I think that's about it. So those are all my bits. And just need to paint them up and put them on. Now I've just discovered a very interesting way of weathering these 3D printed parts. You know, when they come off the printer, they're pretty shiny like that. But I've discovered that if you spray them with this super glue activator, they go like that. Sort of a matte finish with a bit of wear on it. Brilliant. So here are all the deck details that I've made and painted, and I think they'll just add a little bit of life to the boat. You see the life buoys down there at the bottom right. My original effort, absolute disaster. Gave up on that. But these ones I've put some red tape to make those. So I think these are all looking pretty good. Now the fun bit starts, we can put them all on. Well, that's all the extra little details on, and it has brought it to life, so I like the look at that. So there's only one thing left to do for this model, and that is it needs some figures. I'm just going to do a bit of dry brushing on these figures. A bit of dry brushing with white, it'll just make those clothes look a little bit more realistic and worn. And I'm pretty happy with them, so it's time to put them on. Now that's the construction phase of the model complete. But there is one last thing I need to do to it before I consider it done, and that is to give it a name. And the name that I've decided on is Highgate, because Highgate was the name of the family home that I grew up when I was a child, and that is where I first built this boat in the 1970s. So I had a quick look online to see if there are any ships out there that are called Highgate, and I came across one, and here it is, and it looks very similar to this boat. So what an amazing coincidence. Anyway, Highgate it is. The other thing about this boat is that it's actually called a Caribbean coaster. Now I've checked with Colin Smith, who is the son of the guy that designed this boat initially in the 60s, and he has no recollection of why it was called a Caribbean coaster, but it is. So I'd like it to have a Caribbean connection, and I did look to see if there was anywhere in the Caribbean known as Highgate, and lo and behold, there's a town in Jamaica called Highgate as well. So there we have it. The boat's going to be called Highgate, and it's going to be registered in Jamaica. Now, as always, I'm going to use the Cricut Maker to cut out this lettering. This is a very useful machine, and it can cut out vinyl to whatever shape you want. Now, to make this is fairly straightforward. You just put the lettering into this computer program here called Design Space, and then up here you click Make, and it sends it to the Cricut machine. Well, you can see there how it's cut them out. I'm just going to remove the background from these letters. Now we're going to put some transfer tape on there. Then we're going to try and peel the letters off. Now I've put some masking tape on here just to help with placement, to get it symmetrical on each side, and I'm just going to put it above there. And we also need to make one for the back here. Well, there we have it. The Caribbean coaster is finished. There's only one thing to do now. Let's go for a sail. Well, here we are at Mawson Lakes Model Yacht Club, and this is where this boat is going to have its maiden voyage. So let's get it on the water.
Looks lovely, doesn't it? Yeah. I'm so pleased with it. It's a really nice boat.
Well, there we have it. The maiden voyage is done. And that brings to the end this project, the Veron Caribbean Coaster. Certainly brought back a lot of memories. I'm really happy to have one of those in my collection again. And it was good to see it finally on the water. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing that build from start to finish. That's the end of this one, but there'll be more boats to come. But for now, I'll leave you with some photos of the finished boat. Say thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time on Modelling Misadventures.